You're listening to SMUBE's Campus Radio. Say what you want to say. It's your girl Andrea, and welcome to this episode of our podcast series, A Cuppa With, where we host alumni experts in their fields for an informal coffee chat. These conversations will take us through the life journeys as well as diverse perspectives of what it means to give back and how to continually create positive value through our work. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of A Cuppa with Benjamin Boh. Now, thank you so much for joining us today, Benjamin.
Pleasure to be here, Andrea.
How are you loving our studio today, and how does it feel like to be back on campus, especially since your faculty has just recently been renamed to the School of Computing and Information Systems?
I didn't know. They didn't tell us. No, being back on campus is always fun. Every time I come back, it's weird. I feel young again, but I also feel a bit older. Because you can't race against time. But I love being back in this studio because a lot of memories here. We used to have so much activity. I used to be here. I know the guys who founded SMUBE, and I know they'd be really proud that you guys are continuing the movement. So good job there.
I'm sure our audience is curious about what your time was like as an SMU student. Could you share with us more about what kind of CCAs and community service projects that you were involved in?
Sure. My time in SMU has been really unforgettable. And to me, I call it the whole holistic educational experience. And by that I mean I worked very hard and I also played very hard. Maybe I played a little bit too hard initially. But honestly, the opportunities that the school has given me in terms of just the kind of courses we could take, the emphasis of how in-class discussions and debates are so important, the fact that the on-the-job experience is really promoted through the internships, and the encouragement of going for activities in school, joining clubs, doing community service. I think all of that really shaped the way I think, and it also gave me kind of my North Star in how I would choose my career path after that. And that to me is something that I treasure a lot, and I really attribute it to the school and how they were really the pedagogy and how they think they should mold students and what's important for them.
I absolutely agree with you, Benjamin, and even as a year 2 student myself, I think the impact of the school curriculum is very strong. And speaking on that as well, in your recent interview with the Office of Student Admissions, you mentioned that you enrolled specifically in SMU because you wanted a university education that involved project work, learning with others, working in teams, and having candid discussions in class, and that this education style would help you grow and survive in the corporate world. Now, would you say that this all-rounded experience has helped you navigate your endeavors after graduating from SMU?
Oh, did I say that? No. In the corporate world, and I had to learn this very quickly. It's not about being book smart. It's not about being smartest in the room. It's definitely not about being able to memorize concepts and just regurgitating all of that onto a test paper. What I learned very quickly is the fact that we were able to bring out our point of views very clearly, but also listen to other people's point of view. The fact that we had that experience in school through projects, through discussions, and the fact that a lot of SME students came from all different parts of the world, that gave me an experience and confidence to express myself better.
So we all know McDonald's to be the go-to fast food brand, but I'm sure that the audience is just as curious to know what really goes on behind the scenes. Could you share with us more about your position and the work that you do for the fast food giant?
I just eat a lot of McDonald's. But really, at McDonald's, if I take a step back, right, the goal is really to create what we call feel-good moments and make it easy for everyone. And everyone means our customers, but also our employees. So in a McDonald's system, there are a lot of must-dos to be able to do that, to achieve that goal. So my job at McDonald's is to work with all the departments that deliver on all these must-dos. So we set the direction for the company and for the brand. We work together to make sure we achieve on those. So my job is really more of coaching, mentoring, and working with everybody. But they're the ones who really make everything happen. So I'm lucky to have my team be working with me.
So, Benjamin, we also know that you've had various opportunities to engage in cross-country business developments. So, have you faced any difficulties in adapting to different environments or overcoming any social or cultural differences? And how did you manage to cope?
When I was in McDonald's Japan, I think that was the biggest culture shock because language is different,
Right.
Culturally we're very different. But one of the things I learned being in McDonald's Japan is we're all human beings. And while we might be culturally different. We might have different beliefs and all. Once we understand the background behind those beliefs, once we understand why the culture is such, and once we're able to kind of share each other's culture and understand that, ultimately we are just humans. And once we are able to find that connection, then that's where magic can happen. That's where we can work very well. So I'm also lucky, going to Japan. While language was a barrier, we had translators on the job, but I also invested in language coaching just so that I can speak some conversational Japanese. At least we were able to speak in a very casual way. And even though sometimes we go for meetings or meals, because we are both interested in understanding where we're coming from, the body language, still we were able to work very well. And once we were able to find a connection, I really enjoyed my time working with my Japanese colleagues. They're a great bunch. Japanese, once they set their mind at it, they get it done. And I think that's amazing. It's something that I continue to learn from.
You know what, Benjamin, I absolutely agree with you. I think as humans, we just have so many things in common and much more similarities than we care to realize sometimes. Our differences are actually a strength that we can use to educate each other and learn from each other to grow and be better humans. So you know what, let's switch up our agenda with a little bit more of a fun question. If you could bring back any food item at all from an overseas McDonald's menu, what would you bring back to Singapore for locals to enjoy and why?
So there's this menu item in Japan that I really, really love.
Okay.
And you probably won't guess it, but it's a white chocolate and dark chocolate dip for fries.
Oh wow.
So imagine like a sauce pack.
Okay.
Half of it is white chocolate, the other half is dark chocolate, and there's a slit right in the middle. And if you break it, the white and dark sauce will drizzle on the fry. So number one, it's very Instagram worthy.
Yes, I'm sure.
Two, it tastes awesome. So that whole sweet and savory, and that's probably why a lot of people eat fries with their sundae. It's yummy. So those are one of those things I'm like, I want to bring this back to Singapore. Hopefully, in time.
So zooming back to the present, as an SMU student, would you have anticipated all these experiences, and was this your vision for your career? Or did you have something totally different in mind and this was not a career path you saw yourself going down when you were an SMU student?
If I said that this is all part of the plan, I'll be lying. When I graduated, I didn't have a 10-year plan or a 20-year plan.
Right.
I really had no idea where I would be in 10 or 20 years. What I was very clear on, and that kind of has been my North Star, my guiding light. I was very clear that I wanted to be part of a brand or organization that truly inspires both the employees and the customers. And to me, SMU was that brand, and that's why that stuck so well to me. For us at SMU, we were really the underdogs at that point in time, right? I was the pioneer batch, so not even tested, and the amount of care that teachers gave us, the amount of coaching they gave us, and they really wanted us to succeed. So they were very well ingrained in what we thought we wanted. They listened to us, and the students as well. We were all, because we're also new to it, everyone was learning, and we didn't have any we gotta do this and all that. We just like new things.
Absolutely lovely. Well, Benjamin, you've already accomplished so much in your life. I wonder, how have you tried your best to make an impact or make a difference with what you do? And what does the phrase impactful work mean for you and in your context?
Impact to me is again, it's very personal. Like for me, my immediate influence is the people that work with McDonald's. And again, these are not just people in the office. I'm talking about people in the restaurants. And the thing about McDonald's is we have 4 generations of people working in the restaurants, in the office. And how do I make their lives better? By providing for them better, giving them better job prospects, depending on what they want. Some people want progression. Some of our aunties and uncles have been working in the restaurants for 20 years. And when you ask them, why do you still come to work? They said, because this is the place I feel welcome. So yeah, for now, for me, impact is how do I help my people? Because by helping people, then you're able to provide better experiences for customers. And I think that is, we have done that successfully over the few years, and I want to keep making sure we do that.
Well, Benjamin, I must say I absolutely admire your positive attitude. Thank you so much for your wonderful sharing. As a wrap on today's chat, do you have any parting advice to our audience members who wish to venture into similar career paths?
I think it's important to first know what your North Star is and make sure it's wired to you. Don't chase something that is popular opinion. Don't chase something that that is there, that you're doing just because your parents said so, your friends said so, or it's lucrative and all that. Because you'll find that when that happens, you burn out very quickly. And I've seen that across many of my friends. But as long as you know what your North Star is, you know what drives you, go hard at it. And this is where we talk about it, right? Find an organization or a company that inspires you in that North Star. And try many different things within that North Star so that you get a sense of the business and how it works. Because then you're truly, I won't say indispensable, but you're of value to the company because you understand it, you're able to make better decisions, and you'll be more of an asset than just an employee.
Well, thank you so much, Benjamin, for joining us today and for all your valuable insights.
I hope it's valuable. I don't know.
And to our lovely audience, thank you for joining us on today's edition of A Cuppa with Benjamin Boh. Make sure to check out all of SMUBE's social media platforms. Once again, it's your girl Andrea from SMUBE's Campus Radio. Say what you want to say. Signing out.